You there, Goose?
Yeah, but I'm just eating.
Can you see?
Yeah, there you go. I'm on.
Mountain gorillas thrive in cold
Alright,
climates.
I'm watching.
As a moon gorilla, I can
Alright. Huh. Guess I didn't actually play. That's why I don't have the replays. Alright, let me. I just have to type in the codes, I guess. I'm just gonna do the two maps because I gotta go get a haircut soon. What two maps do you think I should do?
It's up to BB. I'm gonna mute you in the party though. I don't know, bro.
I think Hollywood.
Okay, we'll start with that then.
Welcome to Hollywood. Ready for battle. Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
So like I said, I don't know if you'll remember me saying this, but I feel like if you're gonna run this point or this comp, I think the ball instead of Ryan would be better. I think that's one of Killer's biggest issues is he needs to learn how to flex to other tanks. You can't be a Ryan one trick in the scrim scene. It's just too hard. Kree gets split here. I'm not quite for sure what he was thinking about with that positioning. I feel like the better play would have been just starting off on high ground up here. And then once you saw they had a Widow, I would have probably just dropped behind shield because there's a good chance you're going to get picked off. Starting over there is, without your team or anything is just very dangerous. Or maybe even if you wanted to start off on this long flank, rotating back up through high ground here would have been a little bit safer, but I feel like they still would have just sped up on you. So I probably would never do that again. Because you never know what comp they're going to be on there. Obviously with the Lucio, they have a comp that's just going to run you down. So as McCree, one dude, if you're ever going to play this again, I would start up here instead of starting back there. And then, like I said, once they have a Widow, I would probably just drop down with your team because there's a good chance you can pick you off with no shield. Then BB does a really good job putting in a lot of damage.
I'm not paying you for your acting ability. Let's get moving.
When you come back one dude, that's the right play. You took that high ground, there you go. Just next time do that as a Kree. Just unlucky. It was a good headshot. And then it just kind of get ran over after they pick off your Mercy. That's just unfortunate. it's pretty hard to play Ryan against a Ryan with a Lucio when you don't have Lucio, so that's why the ball is just better in that situation. Killer Ghost Ball, but it's a little rough, I remember. You just need to go into like just a custom game killer and just practice using your grapple to get to high places, or just getting around the map, because it's something you struggle with. And then I remember specifically we calling for a pile drive, pile drive barrage, and Killer kind of whiffs the pile drive here pretty hard. Instead of just dropping from where you did, I would have swung up, so you could have got a little bit more verticality to actually slam their team. So when we come back, it's going to be really hard for the defending team. Once you lose a fight like that and their DPS get high ground like this, it's going to be super hard for you. I mean, you kind of just have to take this high ground, because if you don't take this high ground, these guys are going to absolutely wear you out. And I think BB tries to contest it, and Killer tries to, but it just goes back to that he's got to start practicing his Hammond grapples in a custom game or something, because you'll see he can't get up there. He really struggles. Good shatter. Path. That's pretty good for Muda though. Once they pop that that visor, him going around like with the throughout, so the soldier couldn't see him, and he's also stalling card at the same time. So that was a pretty good movement as Mercy, I feel like. I really feel like we got it. The Hog with the Rhine, I don't understand Crowder. It feels like Crowder refuses to play the tanks that we need to play. Because I remember I suggested tanks, and Sonic suggested tanks, and he just didn't switch a lot of the times. I don't know. I remember him putting in something in the chat, like, Hog and Ball is fun, but, I mean, if you're here to honestly be on a scrim team, like, you're not going to get to just have fun. Like, you got to play stuff that it's not as fun, but it's going to get you the win. That's a good job, BB, taking the high ground. I was about to say. That's what you need to do. Maybe instead of when you pushed up here, which was good, when you came around this corner and saw that there was more than just one person up here, and instead of challenging him hard in this room, I would have just rotated on over here. So once they got around the corner, you can start putting some damage, because you're essentially a 2v3 in there, because your Ash was just coming back, and then once your Mercy died, especially, then it's a 3v1. You're gonna lose that every time. And then your Ash is going to get ran down by that Lucio again. Yep. Then we're just super split right here. Ryan rotates all the way out right side, which just leaves for Sonic to get burned. And that's what I was talking about on Nepal, when Killer just kind of rotates kind of very strangely. He just kind of like, he's in one place and he just kind of fucks off and goes somewhere else without telling his team. You can't really do that. You got to communicate with your team which way you're going and what direction you want to go in as a main tank player, because they need to be following up behind you, and they never can, because they never know what you're doing. They can't read your mind. You got to be able to explain to them where you want to go and what you intend to do when you go there. I won't say too much about that Killer. We talked about it mid-scrum, but you just need to know from now on, when you get Nano in the other Rhine, even if you think he might have Shatter, you need to be ready to block it. Say half a swing and then put up your shield, because he's gonna go right for that Shatter, especially in tier 4. They're gonna do that almost every time. So just be ready to block. And that's just pretty much, that pretty much just leads to them getting 3 points. Sonic or BB, do you all have any questions about that? Since I know you're watching.
I do not. Those good points, though.
Anything you want me to go back and elaborate more on? That I'd maybe not have made some as much sense?
Not that I know of.
A lot of it is
I'm
just
curious about my positioning.
it seemed pretty good. The only time that you got punished, quote unquote, wasn't even really your fault when you were over here and the Rhine was with you right here. And I guess you thought what I would have done is I would have just held this angle right here, and you would have direct sight lines. But instead of him just holding this angle right here, he kind of like rotates back, and I don't know why he does that. Because when he rotates back, gives up space, but if he's holding right here behind with his on and sight lines, he can contest the cart right here. When the cart's coming right here, he can contest cart right here. So I'm not really for sure why he rotated like that, but it leads to you dying, and honestly isn't really your fault. On first point, I know I didn't say much about it, but your positioning on first point was really good, holding under the cafe right there. So that way you have the minis, that's really good. And then second point, I don't know, there's not much to say about second point, it's just kind of a roll, because it felt kind of like a 5v6, because Killer just isn't as comfortable on other tanks. So
Yeah,
when
we
he's
just
on
got
ball,
rolled.
yeah. Killer on ball is, he needs a lot of work. You kind of just...
Second point, I was on high ground on top of the saloon.
Yeah, that was
Most of the
good
time.
but then we lost that first fight, and then we had to regroup, and then they took that high ground that you
That
were
was
on.
that was pretty rough to watch.
Yeah. Killer ball, yeah. I think the best thing to do, Killer, if you go back and watch this, is just practice in a custom game. Just load up a map and just practice. Not against bots or anything, just practice swinging up onto high grounds and stuff. So when you play that map, you'll know where you need to grapple at to get up there. And it's just, when you play ball, I noticed, like, when I first started playing ball, I was like, I didn't know how to play the character, but once you put some hours into it, it's just natural. You don't even think about what you're doing. You just do it. Any other questions before I go on to our attack?
Nope.
Initiating match.
I'm just gonna pause it because well, I guess I can do this. Maybe not. So I remember specifically I made the call for us to go through choke, then rotate it top left with our soldier.
Ready for battle.
Oh, why did it put me on this angle? God, it's annoying that I did that.
Attack.
Which we do, but then I remember Sonic made the good point that once we took this high ground, instead of Killer shielding at your DPS to poke at their DPS and then hopefully kill him, he kind of goes into the stairwell over here, and we need that shield. We need the shield up here for our DPS to get the picks. That's kind of the whole point of taking the high ground, is to your DPS having an advantage. Now, if we were running like May Reaper, we still could have rotated up there, but then immediately dropped because we don't really have much of an advantage up there. I really think when we're running our Rein Zarya Moria Lucio, we might want to start trying to run a little bit more May and Reaper or May Kree or stuff like that, just strictly brawl instead of running poke DPS like Soldier. But Killer kind of, once again, instead of shielding his team across, he kind of just goes first when he needs to be that shield. And he's not communicating when he's dropping his shield, like he needs to be telling people, like he has full shield there. Like I don't understand what he's doing. Sonic and BB, you played with Killer more than I have. Do you know what he's doing? What he thinks? What's going through his head?
No, a person that would be Riku.
I'm not really for sure what he's trying to.
His head's weird. You have to ask more about.
He's trying to take on more than he needs to. Who thinks that he has to do everything because he doesn't have trust for his teammates? Because he's used to queuing in the ladder.
Which is when I told him to drop point, like basically the whole point of this is rotating up here to get the high ground and for your DPS to either A, get a pick or break their shield or get them low, and then once you see that happen, then you amp speed and your Ryan drops off high ground and goes in off of it. But your Ryan's not in a really good position to go in because he's down here by himself while the rest of his team is up here and they have no help because their Hunter just gets free fire up where he's at. And then we end up having to blow amp just to get him out of the staircase. So now we're not going to have amp for 12 seconds to go when we need it. And one dude, that's like the third time, he's just kind of walked off high ground. It's kind of weird. He starts swinging pretty good. Gets a good pick. Keeps going in on Ryan. And he just gets pinned. He's got to work on counterpinning too. I don't know if he's ever counterpinned a Ryan this whole scrim. He maybe did it once, that whole scrim counterpinned Ryan. And this was a good coalescence, I thought. I said just keep up Zarya and it's winnable. And we should punish Ryan here. Where did you die at, BB? I didn't even see you. Where were you?
I was on their high ground.
On their high ground? On this high ground above Cafe?
Yeah, I went behind them to deal with the Hanzo.
That's not a bad idea. I think the soldier just kind of flanked around you, and you didn't see him. We're getting picked, and then the soldier's visor's on the high ground. And Killer, he hears the visor, but it seems like his reaction is just so slow. Like it feels so delayed. Like once he hears the visor, he should be able to hear like kind of what direction it's coming from, and he waits like a second and a half before he puts up his shield. I think we try and take the high ground again here. If I remember correctly. Something that we can try to do next time is if we recognize that this Hanzo is sitting in this room like he is, instead of going up on the high ground, because it's just something that I would suggest, instead of just going up on the high ground, coming through security, wait until you're about right here to amp speed, and just literally run past their team and run them down and kill them. And kill both of those guys. That's something that you can do. I don't know if he would specifically stay there if he saw us going through security, if he'd stay in that room. And then something else we could do is if we were running the Mei comp instead of the poke comp, we could go through security like that, and we could just wall right here, put a wall right here and get in safely, and then rotate behind them, and then take their cafe with it. Or if they're on high ground, you can go through security, just wall the high ground and go right onto point. Or go around if you want. The reason I'm such a fan of the Mei Reaper is, I haven't played in Tier 6 in a while, but I remember specifically playing a team with a Cyber Ninja and Marika and stuff on their team. They played the Mei Reaper Rush, like that's what they were so good at. And the reason that they were so good was not because they were just individually better at their characters than our team, but their rotations were just insane. They would use their wall to actually like just take these optimal angles, and I think that's something that you can implement into your own gameplay. That's why I really feel like instead of us running the poke DPS, if we just switch to the Mei McCree or Mei Reaper, we could just run them down if we're gonna play around Zarya. Which not that you're doing a bad job, BB or anybody. Just I feel like we could have got more value if we just ran the Ryan down, because it seems like they were just winning the poke war. And I feel like Killer plays so aggressive that he needs that to help him. We just gonna die. Then BB pops off here. Let's see that. Let's see BB pop off right here. Headshot.
Right there, that's the one.
What's the one?
That's the one right there.
That's the what?
That's the one where he goes into the stairs
Oh yeah.
and just leaves me and I get shit on by the Hanzo.
And he gets shattered. Ah. Gets a bit. And that's what I was talking about, BB. We'll even go back 20 seconds. How you're wondering how he lost this fight, even though you killed 3 or 4. What happens was, I'll show you exactly what happens. They dragon, which is whatever. It's a pretty good beat, but Killer, once again, it's the same thing as when you're nanoed. When you beat, that's when Orion's going to shatter. It's the same thing. He knows you're going to want to get aggressive. Got to get that shield up, man. And then Killer doesn't counterpin, and it leads to Sonic getting pinned. Even though the Orion's 1 health, all they need is to shoot him once. He gets the pin off, and then watch what happens. So that's a kill. Then three of us go over here to try and kill their Orion, while you're 1v1ing the Hanzo and their Lucio's back and their Soldier's back. So 3 of us over here committed on Ryan, and there's 3. We got 3v1, but then they have a 3v1, and they end up popping beat. We kill their Ryan, but they pop beat, and they can just stagger off. And stagger, and we absolutely whiff Graph. I don't know what that Graph was. That was pretty bad. But and they just come back with ults. We get a really bad visor as well. Basically, to answer your question, BB, after you got 3 kills, we overcommitted onto Orion, cost them to come back and kill you and pop beat, and then we completely whiffed visor and Graph. That's basically what happened. And then just come back and win. The Killer actually gets a big shout here. I remember to win you all this. And like the thing is, even right there, even though I got a huge shatter, which is good, but that Rhyme that was pinning, he had 2 seconds to counterpin, and I don't think he would have counterpinned that. He didn't even attempt to counterpin it. And he had pin. Or I think he had pin. Did he pin when he shattered? Did you all notice? I can rewind it. Like when he got that shatter, did he use pin? I don't think he did he?
No, he didn't. Or else everyone would have been knocked away.
Yeah. So he wouldn't counterpin that, because even if I was playing, even though I knew he won the fight, I still would have pinned. Even if he died, I would have just flew forward. Like at least I attempted to. I don't think he would have counterpinned that either. But I mean, he still won the fight with that shatter, so that was good.
Objective lost. Stop the payload.
And then we switched to ball, so we just, I literally said, I remember saying, please go back and switch Zarya or something, and he just stays ball. They just kind of grab Dragon and win. Not much we can do for that. We don't have a defensive ult yet. I mean, the ball's kind of a throw here, to be honest. We're trying to run like a brawl, and we have a ball. I'm gonna rewind that. I understand Killer gets booped here, but when you know the Ryan has Shatter, you can't be playing on cart like you were. I'm pretty sure he was like right on top of cart, because you should know that even if you're on cart and have your shield up like right here, you gotta be super careful playing on cart, because even if you have your shield up right there, he can still shatter, and it'll shatter you on cart and everybody behind you. So you keep dancing around cart, like even right here. If I was him, I would have shattered right here because that's a 4-man shatter, or at least a 3-man. Like even if it doesn't shatter ball because it's in the air a little bit, well, that's still a 3-man shatter, and there's nothing you can do to block it because you're on cart, and it'll go right through cart, and it just runs right past it and shatters. So instead of when you know he has cart, instead of playing on cart right here, you either got to play behind cart, or you got to tell your team, okay, he has shadows, go around right side of cart, and then your whole team goes around right side, and you can put your shield up, or left side, you have your shield up, have a better chance to block the shadow. But even then, you got to communicate which side of cart you want to go to, because if you go left and your team goes right, then you can just get a shatter, and you might block it for yourself, but then your whole team's going down and you still lose the fight. It's just putting yourself into position to block shatter, because I noticed there's several times you didn't block shatter just because you weren't even in a position to block it. Good pick from BB. It's a good minefield right here. Moody does a good job staggering his heals right there. You saw he didn't just dump his whole heals into the ball. He kind of staggered it. That's good. Right here, their soldier gets high ground. I don't remember if anybody called that out. Did you call that out, BB, that you saw him going high ground? I can't remember. That's something you've got to call out so your team can come help you, specifically your ball. And I think he tries to go high ground here, but I think he can't even. He whiffs it too. Like. And then Sonic basically just gets pinned in this room, and he has beat. And it's just basically a wrap him right there because we don't have our beat for the grab dragon. It's just a wrap. Any questions for the defense?
Nope.
You got anything, Sonic? You there, Sonic?
He's munching, probably. I think next map I'm gonna go over Hanamura.
Alrighty.
He drawed that one.
Sorry, bro. I have my mic muted. I'm just watching. Bro, I'm here. I'm just watching, bro. The chat's complicated because the audio coming through YouTube versus the audio that, you know, is in the party, so.
It's YouTube. You just listen to him.
I cannot mute the YouTube on the PlayStation.
Oh. I have put up my phone. The Hanamura was really interesting.
Ah, dude, I hate getting dicked. Like, I hate when it's like not my fault. I want it to be mistakes that I make. I made plenty of mistakes on Hollywood.
The only mistake that I remember specifically that kind of lost you all the map was Li Jiang when you popped Cole, and it completely got wasted.
That was pretty fucking bad, yeah.
Hi, buddy.
Oh no, I made some big mistakes with Brigitte. I don't know. I don't consider like missed opportunities mistakes. Like, for example, missing the flail on the Mercy to stop her from resing the Hanzo, and then Hanzo kills like 3 people. Like, you know.
Yeah, no, the Cole and Li Jiang was a mistake.
That was pretty fucking bad, yeah. Thought we were in a worse position than we were.
This is the map one review for a while. Is this one? We had a really good. We played really well on this one.
You have failed your team.
Oh my god, I thought Bulbasaur was Ball Station for a second. I was like, what the fuck? I liked one dude shaking it up with the Bastion strategy here on the back window.
Huh?
I thought that was actually Flame.
What'd you say, Sonic? Sorry.
Listen to the stream, it'll come back up in like 3 seconds. I said I liked one dude with the Bastion strategy on the back window. I thought that was smart and quick.
Yeah, it worked well. I mean, you just get to pin on your back, and that makes it hard when you're down one. You just gotta remember here, BB, that when you take the point like this, especially when you lose your main support, you just gotta play super conservative. Instead of trying to push out, you just gotta play point. I get a res, and that's just pretty much a rat.
It's taking a second for the stream to catch up, so I don't have any comments. Yeah, and then I overextend, that's a mistake.
We switch off the sim, which I think is the right play, and then go for poke.
Come here. Come here.
That's a really good play by Crowder. Other than him getting his tire broke, but.
Holy shit.
Привет!
I remember BB gets an absolutely massive shatter here coming up. Jeez, he had so much time to block that. Jesus. What a shatter. And what's really good is there's Zarya just completely wastes Graf, so that lets set that for you all to have an easier point too.
God, what a shatter. Holy fuck, dude. Jesus Christ.
We whiff Bob, which we got picked off anyway. One dude, instead of throwing Bob from that angle, when we say Bob point, is when your team rotates up top, just literally go down main and throw it down main. That's the easiest thing to do. Then you can coach gun up to the high ground.
Yeah, I don't know why he was trying to move to the middle of the high ground and throw it from there.
It's just too dangerous. I think Muda does a pretty good job this whole scrim. Honestly, he's pretty consistent. He gets really good antis to Santa. We get a massive ass grab and a massive ass ante.
The rally was pretty big too.
Nice. Pretty good. Not much to say there.
Ready for battle. Ready for battle.
Who said that? Thank you, random viewer.
What'd he say?
Oh, somebody said the rally was really big.
Who is it though?
I don't know. I don't recognize the voice. It's me, Sonic. I'm your biggest fan. Go. Go, get in the window.
They tried to wall in, which is pretty good. Which for what the comp that we're playing, it's kind of fun to let them do that because we don't really have a comp that can push and challenge them. If we had like a May and like a Torb or like a Junkrat again, instead of just letting them freely walk up there, something that we can always think about doing is just straight up challenging them going up this way, or backing up and taking it from this approach and going up the stairs, upstairs up here, and then meeting them right here with our Junkrat. Because if we had a Junkrat here, the spam potential right here is insane. But since we don't have the Junkrat, then I feel like this is the right place since we have double hit scan. This is pretty good right here. Sonic loses the 1v1 to the Creed. Ooh. Sonic getting outplayed.
He's just better, bro. What do you want? Just infinitely better than I'll ever be at anything in life.
I don't know about that, but their Hanzo stays back, and I think it's the pick right here. Yep. Rip. It's a big shatter, but it kind of doesn't matter. This is where we messed up rally. Nobody was ready to move in with it. And you end up dropping this way by yourself completely. We drop and we get a good pin, but just nobody was ready to follow up with that.
Please go back. Please go back.
Go back to what?
Spectate me.
Spectate you?
20 seconds. Yeah, please.
I don't know. I got frustrated because nobody tried to make anything happen when I hit the rally, and I thought it would have been an indicator to go in. It's my fault for not communicating it, but like I just got mad when nobody wanted to do shit. So I was like, "Fuck it. I guess I'm just gonna go in and try and do something."
Please tell
That's
me
my
someone
fault.
did.
I was saying. It's a big visor. Oh, I want to watch this. I remember BB like trying to eat the grab dragon, and he gets grabbed underneath the freaking.
Yeah, she knocked me off, and then I tried to fly back up.
Yeah,
And it's fucking...
Junkrat's a good switch. Junkrat's good for this. Trying to eat the grab, gets knocked off the platform, gets grabbed. Oh! Let's see that big. Let's see that. See this big baby diva plays. Sorry, unfortunate.
Initiating match. Ready for battle. Ready for battle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers
So this ended up being a really good play.
defend objective A.
They even scout it too with that arrow. Pin.
Objective lost.
BB just going bananas.
Defense point. Objective B.
Nothing's gonna stop.
Seconds remaining.
Der Kampf ist noch nicht vorbei.
Go Sonic, go Sonic, go Sonic, go Sonic, go, 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 go. You ended up going for a really big stagger. You probably could have got out. Instead of going that way and dumping you off the map, you could have just wall read out to your team. Or when you drop down and just go out and around. You didn't really need to die there.
Mm-hmm.
Just a big grab. And I just had grab. That's pretty much the story of that. And we didn't have. Yeah, I just had grab pretty much.
Ready for battle.
Grab and a lot to follow up with it. And we come out with the Ash Tour, which it's what I want us to do, but then we end up switching off of it for some reason. At least I'm pretty sure we switch. But maybe we don't. Some really good picks here.
Go. 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 Go.
Turning up my heat.
Sox almost dies there. Big shatter.
Огонь по готовности!
They just end up coming back and running BB down. Unfortunate. Their Bob and Dragon ended up destroying us somehow. BB gets a really good pin. And you send up drawn. BB pin. Nope. Shatter. Poor ball.
Huh.
Any questions for that map?
Yeah.
What is it?
Sonic. What's your question, Sonic?
I don't know. It's just different, like, VOD reviews from, like, the perspective of, like, someone who does, like, tier 5 versus from the perspective of, like when I do a VOD review, like, I just cover more things, like, more little things, like, more, like, ability usages, more, like, positioning for everybody on the team, like, as a whole, like, where everybody is positioned together, like, our initiations, our disengages, like,
Sonic, don't forget
you know, more into like ult economy, like who's charging enemy teams ults, who's, you know what I mean, like just like a bunch more information. I can't really hear you talking right now, BB, because I'm still on YouTube, so all I'm hearing is me talk and the echo of me talk. So
Don't forget, you're also doing VOD for tier 2.
There we go. Well, no, I know, but we're still making a lot of those. Like, we made like a ton of those mistakes and stuff.
Yes,
But like,
definitely. I'm pretty sure I already know what our lineup's going to be. So, I will let you two in on that Discord.
I feel like Killer's got a lot of potential, but he's got to learn. He's got to be more flexible, and he's got to learn some, you know, just little mistakes on Ryan that's costing a lot of stuff. But mainly just flexibility. He's got to be able to flex to other tanks.
Yeah.
Any questions as a whole?
yeah. I know what I need to do.
I know what I need to do too.
I guess I'm gonna stop the stream then.